Wow, that's close. What's going on, guys? And it occurs to me I put the camera directly in front of my face. I can't see anything. Gonna have to. There we go. All right, guys, what's up? It is Sunday morning. Time for live streamery. I think the problem is normally I have my little tripod, and it's over there, so I can see computer and camera at the same time. Either way, so it's gonna be hard to look directly at you and the chat. So we'll figure it out, guys. What's up, Lee Gallup? What's going on? I got Dimitronus. I know I said your name right one time last time you were here. So, hello. Good morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is for you there. Alan Gamer Mobile. Hello. Sorry, I'm still trying to get things set up a little bit in here. With the sheer amount of reviews I've done very recently, my desk, my other desk, and the floor is now a mess. I had it all perfectly clean last Sunday for the skit, and now it's a horrendous mess again. So today, after I get done out here, I've got to put away all of this. So I've got a pile of toys over here, a giant thing of toys right here, more toys over here, some things that have been reviewed, other things that have not. So, okay, so what I need here, I'm trying to move my computer a little bit closer so I can see better without having to stretch so much, but I can't knock things over. Hold on. And I was running a little bit late because I was in the middle of trying to finish up the thumbnail and description and stuff like that for the new skit, which will go live after this live stream. Because if I put it live now, you guys wouldn't be watching the live stream. You'd be watching the skit, right? Right. Put down just a little. So I was working on the thumbnail for that, which was a little tricky, but I got it figured out. And now I'm trying to figure out where my phone charger is. So welcome to the SHOKY live stream, where I have to finish getting my crap together, as it were. Okay. And also, I left my phone charger in my car last night, so it's nearly dead. Or I would have probably done an improper live stream, as it were. So what's going on with you guys? Seems like it's only been a little bit since we talked. I know I did the live stream unboxing or mail call the other day. Those don't really count, do they? There we go. Things are a little bit better. I've still got things going off over here. Jason Rayner, instead of being here on the live stream, he's making comments over on the SHOKY Facebook page. Pretty excited to see the new stuff. Yes. Sorry, I misread that word. I thought you said something else there, Lee. The new skit is interesting. I've leaked almost nothing about it. Hello from Dallas, Mr. R13. Or Rodimus13. If you guys have not subscribed to R13 yet, just search him real quick. Click on his name, whatever. Go check out his channel. He's new. Gunpla reviewing. He's trying to get off his feet. I've been helping him out. Little things here and there. And of course, he's been featured here on the channel. And is actually in the skit along with most of his family. Actually, pretty much his family. So, also, real quick. Yesterday with the Shield Grays review, there was a question, and I answered it in the comments, but I wanted to go ahead and show it. They were wondering if the shoulder-mounted cannon thing could clip onto a Gundam, and because of the way all the armor and everything works like that, for IBO, they have the same clip mechanism, but I wanted to go ahead and show off that yes, you can indeed just straight up put this armor, also my camera's mirrored, you can straight up put this stuff on a Gundam. It's the exact same setup for the way the shoulders attach and stuff like that. And yeah, so it works. Still not really a fan of this setup, and yes, there's been a lot of debate in the comments of that video on how many Grazes potentially even used this. And of course, the good old friend Super Droid has been typing up a storm with all his ridiculous knowledge of Grazes. So, but in the final episodes of IBO, there was only really one or two instances of even seeing a Graze that had this, and only one that was actually an Arion Rod Fleet Graze, and it was on screen for about 3 seconds before McGillis destroyed it. And now this Barbatos does not want to stand up because now it's got a big cannon and a huge sword in one hand. Okay, excited to hear my opinions of Jurassic World and Antman, because you've seen both. Okay, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. I'm letting people gather for the moment. So as for things around here, I picked up a few new toys recently. Obviously, new model kits, which you guys have seen. I just got those in, and we'll start on very soon. As it stands, the Master Grade Monday is not going to happen tomorrow, at least not as planned, because I haven't even started on the Banshee yet. That's how busy this week was. It took me virtually an entire afternoon and evening to edit the skit because it's a longer one, and there was an enormous amount of footage to go through and clip and make things right. Actually, it took 3 or 4 rendition to get it to the final copy, which is now uploaded, and it still has minor issues, but nothing as bad as the first few. But I did pick up new Marvel figures that I'm really excited about, mostly because of the Build-A-Figure wave. The Zeo Ranger review, you guys saw that already, but there is an addendum to that featuring the Build-A-Megazord. Okay. Wow, I think it's great. Cool. Also, what's coming out soon? A couple quickies, and I might, because Master Grade Monday isn't going to happen unless I somehow plow through like the entire inner frame of the Banshee today, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Because I don't even think I'm going to the Gunpla meet. Originally, I was going to. So anybody who was expecting me to be out at the Gundam Club meet today, I think we just have too much going on here today that I need to take care of, and just trying to relax. We were up super late last night. So sadly, I don't think I'm going to make this one. So if Eric pops in here in a little bit, I will have to break his heart. Although it would be fun if I could actually get his custom Providence, or custom painted Providence, on for Master Grade Monday. But that's not going to happen this time. So we were up late last night playing Cards Against Humanity and Exploding Kittens with my cousin and his new girlfriend. And it was a lot of fun. We don't stay up super late anymore, and we were up well past midnight, at least for us. You know, so that's late for us old people, so to speak. Oh yeah, in the thumbnail of this video. Yay! So this review will be coming out sometime soon. I need to get a better thumbnail for these guys right here. The one I took is too big, like they're too close up, and I can't fit it in my normal thumbnail resolution, I guess, if you want to call it that, or dimensions. It just didn't want to fit. And yeah, so that's it. And with new Build Divers kits in, I'm gonna have to plow through those along with the 2 kits I was already working on. So it's going to be another really busy week around here. So I was thinking I was going to get ahead on a lot of these other side reviews, which I have. So now I can get back to building and customizing. So if Reese pops in here in a little bit, the custom local type, I'm trying to work out how to do the final details and stuff that I need to do on it before I get to painting, because I'm much happier with where it is now versus it was like 3 weeks ago. And I'm really excited to show that off to you guys. A few people have seen it, just so I could get creative ideas, because I got stuck creatively on that one. But I'm looking forward to showing that one off. I don't know if it'll be done in time for the Texas Gundam Club Grand Prix. It would be awesome if it was, but I don't think it's going to be, because that's right at the end of the month. And I don't know if I have money for paint. But I do have another item or 2 coming this week from Gundam Planet. I was excited that I actually was able to buy it on Friday. I didn't think I was going to be able to. So I'm looking forward to messing with that and actually putting out a review on that. So lunchtime before drive back. Catch you later, man. Okay, dude. So if there's anybody else watching, see, the thing is, when I'm here on my computer screen, I can't see who all is watching, how many people are even in the chat or anything like that. So just real quick, want to know how many of you guys have seen the 2 movies that I'll be talking about. I don't want to spoil anything. Obviously, Demetronus has seen both of those movies. We just saw Antman Friday night, and we saw Jurassic World, I think the week before. So, 2 weeks before. For the Fallen Kingdom, so to speak. So, if you've seen these movies, let me know. If you have not, there will obviously be more. I'll try to. I'm not going to do full-on reviews, but I'm going to talk about things about the movies that bother me, especially with Jurassic World. But Ant-Man is a different story. It's so new, I don't want to spoil anything about it. And pop over here, make sure that. Okay, so the chat is still perfectly fine. Very good. Okay, close this right quick. because I hate that notification being up on my screen. Do I have any coffee left? I have a little bit of coffee left. You don't plan on seeing them, so don't worry about spoilers. Oh, well, good. Why don't you want to see them, Lee? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. So why don't you want to see them? Are they just not your kind of movie? You don't like Marvel things? You hate dinosaurs? You don't believe in dinosaur rights? Which is a main theme of that movie, dinosaur rights. Stay. Ice cold coffee, and not because it's got ice in it. Oh, speaking of which, I want to put this barber toast since it's right here in front of me. I want to fix this shoulder. Oh, one thing I did have, and you guys probably saw it in the review, I did have a minor issue putting this shoulder on. It was too tight. It wouldn't go on over the actual shoulder. Wow, everything came off on that one. Holy crap. Okay, hold on. As usual, Barber Toast took a fall because it has the worst ankles ever. Sorry y'all get to see my bald spot. I had to find all the parts that came off. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take these clubs off his back. I think that might be one problem. He doesn't use these, so I don't know why I bother. Okay, sorry I dropped things. I don't know, just not really into movies anymore. Huh, weird. Maybe you should look into why. Okay, so let's see here. Thigh armor went flying for some strange reason. I guess because the knee forced it up. Now we're doing repairs. The side skirt booster popped off because of the way the leg landed. Barber Toast, no! Okay. Seriously, I need to tighten up these ankles. They get so loose over time. It's ridiculous. Oh, there went the arm. You know, I really do love IBO kits, but sometimes they just fall apart like super easy. You'll probably see the Antman movie eventually, but you're in no hurry. Okay. I wanted to see it just because I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a good movie. And because, minor spoilers, he's not in Infinity War, so I wanted to see what was going on with the Antman during the Infinity War process, which this movie does more or less cover. So, yay. Alright, so I'm trying to put this poor demon back together because he decided to faceplant. I'm just going to glue that hand, the back of the hand on. It's like, he's never not going to be holding the weapon. I'm just going to glue the hand back together permanently just so he'll always hold it. So, shoulder cannon, it's gone. Barber Toast. Well, this thing's eventually going to be on a stand and not standing on its own, so that should be okay. Anyways, I don't even know who all's here and who's not here at this point. So what I was trying to say is, got these guys. Got some Grocery Gang figures, such as that. A lot of things coming up. What else? Should we talk Build Divers first? Since the newest episode of Build Divers came out and we got to see the 00 Sky actually in action. Should we talk about that real quick? Sorry, I'm turning this. By the way, new tripod sitting over there. So now I have a review tripod and a live stream tripod, so I don't have to keep switching things back and forth constantly. But the cool thing about the Skit is I did get to shoot it with multiple cameras at the same time, so got multiple angles. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I don't want to spoil the topic, but the fact that while I was writing the script for this, I literally got hit with the topic of the Skit. Like, what I was talking about happened to me directly. And I was like, oh my god, really? Okay. I'm not gonna bother answering. No offense, Alan Gamer Mobile. I'm not going to take questions like that because it's too blanketly open, to be totally honest. And the fact that, you know, if you really want my opinion on different Gundams and stuff like that, by all means, go check out my reviews if you're new here. Because that's a very easy way to figure out what I like and don't like and what my favorite stuff is. Because realistically, in most of these videos, I'll be like, this is totally my favorite thing. So rather than me just give you that information right now, I will let you earn that information on your own time. Sorry, I'm trying to get this box back together, so I'm going to be like mildly cleaning while we're talking. This reminds me of 100 Barbatos Lupus, but I have... Oops, sorry. I have, but the part that connects the legs together broke, so kind of sitting in a box. Never see the light of day. I'm sorry, sir. Grant Henderson. Howdy. Okay. Let me know if you have this problem. I know a lot of people probably don't keep their boxes and stuff. But I have a problem now, and it's a minor dumb issue. So just right inside the lip of the box here, you know where the box folds over, you can see right here, just a little tab where the folded over edge of the box always keeps the frickin' flap from closing properly. And it really does annoy me. I am a box keeper for the most part, as you can tell, because either for storage purposes, resale purposes, or moving purposes, it's nice to have boxes sometimes. Plus, in the case of this one, it's a mild special edition, so it's kind of fun to keep the box. Sorry. It's a good movie. I like all the Marvel movies. I just always wait for the DVDs so I can watch them at home. I'm a hermit. Steve. That's me hitting you on the head. Damn it, Steve. Bam. That's me correcting Steve there with the box. Which, by the way, Jason J, if you're here yet or not here yet, because you probably didn't catch the fact I'm on the live stream right now. Where did you get the evil Haro? Because as far as I know, the dark one I've got is not the evil version. It's just a dark version of it. I chucked every box, only keep boxes for memorabilia. That's weird. Well, I mean, I get it. But the thing is, like, I saved, if you go back and watch my classic Power Rangers reviews, the one that I actually still have from growing up as a kid, I kept those boxes. I kept the things in the boxes when I wasn't playing with them. I did display them, but for the most part, I threw things out like that. I only keep boxes of model kits or figures over 40. Okay, I kind of get that. See, like the Marvel Legends figures I've got, like the ones I just got. Mind you, I did just get them. So they're a little bit older. So the boxes are a little bit worn, even though they were brand new. This one actually got ripped when I was opening it. Now, the only main reason I'm going to hold on to these is because if I don't display the figures out on the shelf, so to speak, I'm going to do what I did. Actually, this one's really torn up. I didn't realize it got that bad. Like right now, I've got the Black Panther figures and Spider-Man Noir that I reviewed. They're up there on the wall in package, or on card, so to speak. Oops, excuse me. Breakfast. But, like the Power Rangers Zeo boxes, these guys, in case I don't feel like holding on to them later down the line, just hold on to the boxes, because a lot of collectors want them. Even if they're not new in box, they'll actually appreciate the box if it's in good shape, which I did do when I sold off my metallic Ranger set with all the weapons. So the guy was like, and you know, it had only been opened ever for review purposes, everything put right back in, only one piece of tape cut. I take my time to open them, make sure I don't destroy the box and stuff like that, with the exception of that one Marvel box. Even the Grocery Gang figures, I found a way to open the packaging in such a way that it doesn't get destroyed. So if I want to put them back on card and turn around and sell them, just to make my money back, more or less, because the first or second wave, or whatever these are, first wave, if I feel like needing to sell them because I don't really want to hold on to them anymore, I've got the packaging, so I can do that. But yeah, no, I get it. But like in the case of Gundam boxes, because people always ask me, is this your backlog? No, these are all empties up here that since we have moved several times in recent years, the boxes come in handy. And plus, people are like, well, you can throw multiple things in one big box. It's fine once it's built. True. However, this way I can put the thing and all of its accessories in the one box. And especially if it's on a multi-tier setup, like my double O's or my wing setups over here that are all together with a base and all that, I can literally take the things down. I can put the base in exactly the same position, set it in the box. stuff like that. So that's what I do. I was like, and yeah, it's mildly hoarding for what it is, but you know, what are you gonna do? Okay, so real quick, we can talk the new episode of Build Divers for those who didn't see it, or did see it, I should say. We got the debut of the 00 Sky. We got to see, I believe we saw the 2 new Force Impulses in action, even though they were just on screen briefly. So we got to see the Champion's Force Impulse, red and blue, kind of. Although he was only still using his Age 2 as it is. So we didn't get to see the Age 2 Magnum Special Forces yet. Still looking forward to that one. And of course they're given a pretty much an impossible challenge to do, the Lotus challenge, as it were. Which I thought was actually very funny. Whole setup. Thought that was really great. And of course they're like, well, I bet you guys can't do it. It's kind of how I came down on it. And like, it'll be a perfect time to display your new Gundam and what it can do. Not a bad idea. And we also got to see IMA. She came back with her new updated, upgraded-ish Zero Maru, which I don't think it's a giant upgrade. I'll have to see them side by side. But obviously now the mask that was over the Gundam face comes off and goes on the chest. And of course, if you look at the actual kit, or at least some of the actual pictures of the kit, now that it's in full color and everything like that, it does seem to be able to do all of that and more. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We got to see it in battle. I love the fact that it has the shuriken on the arm as a shield and it can throw it out. That was really cool. I love the fact that it still had the bird flying around to help it until it combined. That was really fun. Seeing the 00 Sky's debut was mildly disappointing, so to speak. And I knew that they weren't going to go all out. Now, he's still using it. It's still brand new. Still getting used to it. So he pulls out the anti-ship sword at some point to fight with that. He uses the cannon multiple times. That was really fun. Their strategy to try to win was working for a little bit. They kind of failed. They kind of won and kind of failed. And then they're like, ha ha, you didn't totally win. You didn't destroy the core. Now it's falling into the atmosphere and you'll never be able to do it. Oh, yeah? So, of course, he activates the Trans Am Infinity. I'm not going to lie. That's hilarious that that's what he called it. But the fact that he literally pointed out the 00's twin drives with the Wings of Light from Destiny, and you got you got Trans Am Destiny, Trans Am Infinity, and of course, which is what the 00's Trans Am looked like when it first activated back in the day. When he first activated, and it put out the 2 huge rings that were connected, so it was actually like infinite. So I like that callback, and of course, that's kind of how it works. So it like puts out the wings. And then the 2 rings of energy come out as well. And then it goes super fast. And it doesn't go full red Trans Am. It's a different type of Trans Am. It actually looks pretty cool. Though. Like glowy blue instead. I can live with that. And yeah, so he did the thing. Yay. Like it was mildly disappointing. It was cool to see it actually do some things. We got to see what it can do. Of course, we're going to get a lot more. We got a few more ideas in there as to what could be happening in the future. I think that right now it's kind of a coin toss. Will they go back to the brake decals? Will they continue on with some filler for a little bit before we inevitably get the champion turning on Riku from jealousy? If I had to guess, that's what's going to happen. And like, I think we're going to see... let's see if we get the champion being corrupted by the brake decal guy. Be like, well, look, you had all this fame and everything. Now this kid is beating you. See if that happens. I don't know. You guys let me know if you have any theories on the future of Build Divers. But that's pretty much where I've got on there. I do want to get all those kits, of course. Gabaldi Rebake just came out in Japan, so that means it'll be a couple weeks before it hits here. Of course, I'm going to get that. Going to get all the Build Divers kits, let's just be honest here. Yeah, exactly. It was cool just to see the kit in action. Very much so. Throwing Star reminds me of Death Side's shield for some reason. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks the Trans Am Infinity is a kind of silly name. I mean, it is a silly name, but I mean, you got to think he's a little kid and he came up with it. So, though I think that to me, Double O Destiny is still a better name than Sky. Double O Sky. I don't like the name. I still like the suit. I like the cool. I like the unique, just mildly unique design. I can't wait to get the kit in hand, see what it is. It's going to be a heftier kit than the Double O Diver was. I don't know. It's like just something about it. I think we're going to go back to the bigger GN drives, like I said. I'm trying to remember if in the preview that we saw the Jagan Blastmaster. I can't remember if that was in that or not. Either way, it's been a long time since Tuesday morning. Like, I've gotten to the point where now I'm watching the episodes like first thing. I normally would wait until I got off work, but like every day last week I got off a couple hours later than normal, so my day got set back a couple hours. So I started watching first thing in the morning. So if I got up like super early, I could watch it and maybe put out a news or review or whatever if I could. Even Double O Infinity would be better than Sky. Yeah, Double O Infinity would be interesting. I think it would have to. I feel like that would need some gold or silver on it to really be a Double O Infinity. So, but yeah, that's the thing. I wonder where everybody is. It's like not the normal. We don't have a normal crowd, so to speak. Is there something going on that I don't know about? Do you guys know what's going on? I never know what's going on. Yay! I wonder. Hold on. I wonder if I can do a thing. Let's see. Can I do a thing? I'm going to try to do a thing. I did a thing. Okay. Yeah. So, I guess take a second. Think about it. I like the thickness of the Double O Sky. Just looks like a brawler. Yeah. And which is funny because he got away from the close quarters combat and actually is now doing a lot more longer range with the blasters and stuff like that. So beefed it up, which is fine. It actually looks really nice and beefy. Because if you compare the regular Double O to Double O Riser, just adding that extra backpack and all that stuff totally makes a lot more sense and gives it a lot more thickness, as Steve says. Okay. Hopefully here in like 2 weeks, if I can afford it in 2 weeks. We're gonna be making a new IKEA run and gonna get some more details because frankly, I'm out of space. I am like display space. I'm pretty much completely out of display space, and you guys saw what all I've got. Like, so all the new stuff I just got in combined with the pile over here, I do not have enough room to actually continue adding things to the shelf over here. And the fact that, I want to really separate the Power Ranger stuff, the Transformer stuff, get it all like away. Like this be basically the Gundam wall, and then move the Transformers and stuff elsewhere. Just in my mind, it'll work out a lot better around here. So it'll be fun. Make an IKEA run. Maybe I'll do a Detolf assembly video for those who haven't. I don't know. Along with a couple other videos that I'm going to do next week, depending on when the new thing that I ordered comes in. So, Jurassic World. Once again, who saw the first Jurassic World and liked it? Because that was like a huge box office movie. Like, I really dug it. I've been a fan of Jurassic Park forever. So I saw the original in theaters as a older kid, not quite teenager if I remember correctly, because I was 93. So I would have been, no, I'd have been about 10 or 11 when it came out. And the T-Rex scared me so bad. Like, that was like the big bad thing they were running from, other than the Raptors, obviously. But Raptors were a much shorter thing versus the T-Rex. No pun intended. But, like, we walked out of the theater because it was me, my dad, and I think my cousin. I forgot who went and saw it with us. And, like, the front of the theater was just a giant glass wall, as they tend to be. And, like, in my head, like, I'm just seeing the T-Rex coming crashing through that to, like, come after us. It was so funny. But then you get into, a few years later, we get The Lost World, which was, I don't even, did I see that in theaters? I may have. I honestly don't remember if I saw that one in theaters. It didn't have as big an impact. But for sure, I've seen that movie more than a dozen times. I like that one. Decent callback to the original, correct. But the Lost World, kept on with Ian Malcolm. The story was mildly convoluted, but made sense. You find out there's a whole separate island of dinosaurs, and well, now we're gonna go over there because somebody's got a plan to go and do something or other. Let's go steal the dinosaurs and bring them back to the mainland. So we want to actually make a zoo because the other dinosaurs are presumably gone. Because if you don't know, if you didn't read the books for Jurassic Park, at the end of Jurassic Park, the book, after people are escaping, they bomb the island because it all went wrong. They literally bomb everything. And so, like, the last final things in the book, the juvenile T-Rex, because there were two. There was a younger one, and then there was the older one that caused a lot more issues. You see the juvenile T-Rex getting bombed. You see a whole bunch of other stuff just getting wiped out. So they killed everything on that island, which was fine because then you find out, oh, hey, there's a second island that actually, it went wrong too, but now it's more like just a wild preserve. It does whatever. I thought Jurassic World was amazing. Yes. Okay. And then you get to Jurassic Park 3. Sorry, I skipped that. Jurassic Park 3 actually contained at least one thing that was borrowed from the Jurassic Park book that I would have loved to have seen in one of the movies. And that was the aviary scene. So in the books, when Alan and the kids are trying to get back to the visitor center after being attacked, they end up getting a raft. They find a raft. They inflate it. They're going down the river because they know the river heads right back to the visitor center. And at some point, they end up drifting into the aviary, which is a giant cage full of all of the flying dinosaurs or dinosaur-like things, because if you actually know, pteranodons and all those things are not actually dinosaurs, technically speaking. And one of the best scenes in that is that, they're trying to protect themselves and everything, and they're just going along, and one of them just absolutely takes a dump on top of Tim. So he gets completely covered head to toe in giant dino bird poop. But they capture the aviary scene in Jurassic Park 3. Going back to that island, you get to see, oh, hey, there's way more here than we thought there was. Why is there a Spinosaurus? Why did it kill the T-Rex, which is incredibly annoying. Also, never covered, but I guess I didn't need to, which T-Rex did it kill? Because we know there were 3 on that island. There was the male, female, and baby. I think that was the baby just grown up. I think that, because it did not seem to be like a full size necessarily. It seemed a little bit smaller than the previous one. So maybe it was the baby off on his own now. Because it seems like the other 2, assuming that they were still spawning and everything like that, would have stayed together kind of in a pairing. But of course the Spinosaurus being loose, doing whatever the heck it wants, and being actually much bigger than the T-Rex with the ability to grab onto things a little bit better, totally would have killed it. Except now we know scientifically, I just keep bucks at you people. The T-Rex bite force was probably the strongest thing ever. The strongest bite force out of anything. So if the T-Rex got a hold of the neck or anything important on the Spinosaurus, it probably would have been able to just crush it. No problem. But being able to do that, they really just wanted to do the Spinosaur as a new big bad, obviously, because it even replaced the T-Rex on the cover or on the logo, which should have been a dead giveaway of what was happening. And I don't think it was a hybrid. Well, I mean, technically they're all hybrids, as we learn, because that's why the dinos were looking a bit different. If you notice that in the movies, from 1 to 2 to 3, the dinosaurs start changing the way they look, and that's because now they're going generations deep into breeding and stuff like that, and the fact that they made them look the way they wanted. They clipped out other things like that, like the feathers and stuff like that, but we started seeing that stuff come in Jurassic Park 3. And Henry Wu talks about that in Jurassic World. It's like, you didn't want this, you didn't want feathers, you wanted these things, you wanted them to look like this. Saying that once they figured out how to break down the genome, they actually modulated how the dinosaurs looked. And given freedom to breed and do whatever, those genes would probably start realigning and doing whatever, which is why a lot of those things looked pretty different in Jurassic Park 3, why the Brachiosaurs had like stripes and stuff like that, where they didn't before. And yeah, and yeah, that movie was very short and very silly. And I'm slightly jaded on Jurassic Park 3. I don't remember if I covered this in my quick review. Jurassic Park 3, I did not see in the theater. So I bought it on DVD as soon as it came out. My DVD and a subsequent other copy that I bought just to see if that was a problem would not work into the final scene. So it would get to the point where, like, I think they had just barely survived the last Spinosaur attack. And it was before the raptors get to them. And, like, it would just freeze. And it would not go forward. You couldn't fast forward, you couldn't skip it, or anything like that. Now, if I went into scene selection, I could jump to just beyond that part. So there was an encoding problem on the DVD that stuck it. So for the longest time, I never knew how the movie ended until I finally could figure out how to get past it. And so that pissed me off on that movie. Now, the whole dream sequence where the raptor is talking and says, Alan, that, you know, because they'd really figured out that those things could communicate. Which I like that, because in Jurassic Park 1, we saw them communicate. Jurassic Park 2, the raptors weren't as important. They were like just there for the one really good scene to really thin out the herd. No pun intended. But they weren't like the big bads. So we brought back the raptors for 3. Of course, the raptors are important in Jurassic World as we're rolling into it. Alan. There he is. What's up, Zeta? So rolling into Jurassic World, we get this whole new thing. Isla Nublar is back up and running. The park was fully reestablished and actually completed properly. New tech, new dinosaurs. A Margaritaville with Jimmy Buffett actually there. Which, yes, Jimmy Buffett was actually in that movie. He was the guy who picked up the 2 margaritas and started running when all the flying things attacked. And as we already discussed earlier, phenomenal movie. However, the CG was kind of coming downhill. And I think that's only because now movies are so massively done in CG. The Uncanny Valley is really starting to mess with us. Because the higher definition, like beyond 1080p and all that stuff like that, 4K, anything that's fake is going to look faker and faker. Whereas in 93, where we're only playing with the top resolution of maybe 720p, we had a great combination of CG and practical effects, where they still did what they could with Jurassic World and subsequently Fallen Kingdom to add in a lot of realistic effects and stuff like that overlaid with CG. Some of it was just really, really fake looking. Not rhinos in Black Panther fake looking, but some of it was a little bit wonky. I still find that scene as the most unintentional funny scene in the series. Which one? Which one, Demotronis? Demotronis. Also, everyone go and unsubscribe from Zeta because he talks so much crap. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Everyone go buy him a whole bunch of purple sunglasses to send him. You just have an endless supply of sunglasses. Speaking of raptors, he's got some really cool ones that he needs to review sometime soon. That he actually helped back on, was it the Kickstarter? I actually want to see those. They're actually very realistic looking raptor toys. Was it something of the Mesozoic? Creatures of the Mesozoic? The Raptor Talking Dream, yeah. But of course, Jurassic World, new concept of everything being repeated. So, in virtually every Jurassic Park movie, there is people who are getting divorced or have lost their parents in some way, shape, or form. And that continues on, of course, into Jurassic World, because that's the opening scene, is the family shipping the kids off on vacation to go visit their aunt, and they go get a divorce while that's happening. And of course, Judy Greer, if you don't love Judy Greer, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Also, an unintentional tie-in to the Antman movies. I'll wear them all. I'm going to get to those. Here we go. I'm going to get to... Okay, yeah, sorry. Put them all on. Everybody send in those glasses. Link in the description down below. Beasts of the Mesozoic, that's right. They're really cool, though. I would probably get a couple of them for my own self. Without going too deep into Jurassic World itself, at this point we've probably all seen the movie. We all know the awesome parts about it. We all know the dumb parts about it. We all know that Chris Pratt was really good in that. The Raptors were really cool. Vincent D'Onofrio was an asshole, and he got what he deserves. Usually the assholes in these movies totally get what they deserve. But then in this movie, it proved that even being the asshole who made all this happen in the first place, you still don't get what's coming to you. And Dr. Wu, who now is a bad guy, leaves. And he gets away with all the research and everything, the embryos they had already done, stuff like that. The IREX, well, clearly it was going to be what it definitely was. Oh, hey, it's a giant raptor. No kidding. If you watch the, oh, for the love of God, go watch the Nostalgia Critic video over Jurassic World because it is amazing. Because it was at that point that he could no longer use footage from the movies, so they had to start improvising their own scenes for the movie, and that was just so great. And like when they get to when they're talking about the IREX, so funny. Um, but yeah, there's a great scene like because Miss Shoki had not seen it before, and before we went to go see Fallen Kingdom, I wanted to make sure she got to see it, and like watching the genuine kind of surprise on her face because she's honestly she doesn't pay as much attention, doesn't catch things as quickly all the time. Like so, it blew her mind. Like watching her watch these movies is so much fun for me, especially if I've seen them already. If it's something that like I can predict or whatever because I've seen like all the Marvel movies and stuff like that, watching her like light up and all that kind of stuff is so much fun. I don't have any kids yet, but being with her is often like having a kid and watching some of that newfound stuff come out is so awesome. After all the dinosaur stuff happened, did he retire, change his name to become Star-Lord? No, well, if he became Peter Quill, no, because he was Peter Quill before, technically speaking, so I don't know. There's Eric. I knew he'd be here eventually. Sorry for all the spellings there. I messed up a couple. It's okay. Oh, oh, sweet. Okay, all the different raptors and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if he meant which dinosaurs or if he meant the sunglasses. Also, Eric, I don't believe I'm going to be at the meet today, so sorry about that, buddy. I think we got way too much to do around here, and it's already noon, which is when I normally would be down there. I spent way too much money this week, and I don't think I can come down to Hobbytown. Sadly, there's nothing I need, and I've got too much to do down here, so I'll have to check it out another day. Maybe I will definitely be out at the Grand Prix, so that's not a problem. So that'll be my one trip to Hobbytown this month. Will be to the Grand Prix. But once you get that Providence done, we definitely need to pull it up over here. I can come to you or whatever. We can make something happen, buddy. So all of the things, the ending, the final dinosaur battle of Jurassic World is like some of the best 10 minutes of movie cinema from that year. Period. It is absolutely amazing. When she goes to get the T-Rex, and I knew what she was doing. Like as soon as the kid said, "We need more teeth," and she went to go get it, and she picked up that flare. I was like, "Oh my god, I know what she's doing." And then when you come to realize that is literally the same T-Rex from the original Jurassic Park in '93. That is the same one, or Rexy as she is now called. That is amazing. You're like, wow, this T-Rex has been around for like 20 years, 25 years. Is like so, or however old she was to begin with. So it's entirely possible that by the end of, or by Fallen Kingdom, she could be in her mid-30s as a T-Rex, and we don't even know how long they technically could live. Just show me dinos messing up a human day, and I'll watch it. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Kane Mohammed, awesome. Didn't miss the live stream this time. Nope, sorry. Way too many sunglasses to list. That's hilarious. But like just everything about that final scene, finally the new big bad IREX is just wiping the floor with everybody, killing everybody. Killed off. Well, it didn't kill off all the extra raptors. Only killed like one because I think or two. Whereas I think it was Delta got blown up by a rocket or a missile, whatever. I don't know. Owen's relationship with the Raptors was so great. Like he's like their dad, and I love that they roll with that, and you get to see that again and how it gets developed in Fallen Kingdom, and that was amazing. I love that part of Fallen Kingdom when they went back and they started showing, okay, this is how we got baby raptors. We're gonna raise them in captivity. And I love they had them like in a room that was painted to look like it was outside. It was like a dinosaur daycare center. Also reminiscent of the Jurassic Park book. I just realized that because we did have baby raptors being raised in captivity in that, when it was actually, there was one that imprinted on, I think it was Lex and whatnot, in the book, and they actually held on to it. Like, it was almost like their pet for a little while in the book. And what was so messed up about it, going back also towards Jurassic, or the Lost World, when they interacted with the raptors and the families. So they established themselves as their packs, or whatever you want to call them. And they were hoping, at one point, they get cornered by like the bigger raptor, the big one, as they say. And so they have the baby, and they're all like, well, maybe if we show that like this baby is here, they'll leave us alone. And so like they literally like shoo the baby raptor over to the one that's after them, and she totally like sniffs it for a minute, and then goes, and then just eats the baby. It was like, holy crap! Like, that did not go as planned. That would have been amazing on screen. But we get baby raptors for the first time in Fallen Kingdom, so JP1 is totally your favorite, as well it should be. Many scientists believe the T-Rex could live for around 50. Okay. What is my favorite park movie? Definitely the first one, but World is right behind it. Because World recaptured a lot of what Jurassic Park 1 had, which is what it was doing. It was basically like, it was a soft reboot, and that's part of what we're going to talk about in this, and why I have a problem now with Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, because Fallen Kingdom definitely causes problems for me personally, because, spoilers, it retcons the rest of the series. So it acts like 2 and 3 never happened. And if 3 never happened, fine. But if without Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, a lot of things change. And because they include Malcolm in this as being an advocate for or against the dinosaurs, as somebody who experienced it, and they didn't have Grant in there to do it, is really strange, because Grant had some of the worst experiences in the first movie. Malcolm was there, but most of the time he was just laid up in the control center after the T-Rex wrecked him. So while he was hurt, he didn't experience that much. But without Jurassic Park The Lost World, where he really went back and he experienced so much more, not to mention what happened in San Diego, there's almost no point in having Malcolm there, even though technically in canon, and he wrote that book about everything that happened, ignoring the non-disclosure agreement and all that. A lot of Michael Crichton is lack of intelligence in these newer ones. What? Hold on. Anyone else feel that the loss of Michael Crichton is behind the lack of intelligence? I don't know. I think Spielberg not being directly involved also probably had a big deal with that. I don't think it's so much a loss of intelligence. I think it's that we're way smarter than we used to be. Like, the science has gotten a little bit better, but we've all gotten smarter than the movie. So we can literally see through and go, well, that's bullshit. But back to what I was saying, the Fallen Kingdom in the trailer gives away that The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 no longer exist. Because they say, these are the only dinosaurs left. We have to save them. It's like, excuse me. And I got into this argument on Octobotamus's channel. It was a minor argument. Because I brought it out. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. They said that this is the same T-Rex. They talk about the toys, but I brought up the movie and the trailer. And I said, hold on, wait a minute. This says that this is like the last T-Rex. Blue is the last raptor. There's supposed to be an entire island of dinosaurs just doing whatever the hell they want. But Fallen Kingdom says, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no island 10 miles away that has all this stuff on it. And the San Diego thing, I don't know what you're talking about. What happened to San Diego? I don't even know what you're talking about. I know MC wasn't super involved in the movies. They were really good source material. Yeah. Watch Jurassic Park 3 when they had They had the whistle made, I think, set up everything for the new movies of being able to communicate with the Raptors. It did, and I actually, the fact that they knew that and the Raptors could communicate, and they expanded on that massively, with even, not just with being able to talk to each other, quote unquote, but even that having a level of intelligence, they've really established the intelligence in there, that not only could they be trained and they could learn new behaviors, but also that we could study them long enough to gather the information we needed to be able to work with them and train them and things like that, like Owen did, which of course turns around into causing the problems of Fallen Kingdom with, we're going to weaponize these things. And just as the evil dude in Fallen Kingdom tells him, what did you think would happen when you prove that you could train raptors? It's like, did it never occur to you that this would be used for weaponry? It's like, how? It's like, you're an ex-military guy. You should know this. Which also, Owen's background wasn't totally covered other than he was in the military, but he somehow is very good with animals. I don't know, did he train canines or something like that? Or anything like that in the military? We don't know. We just know that that's our basic background information on him. Basically, Fallen Kingdom is the Lost World again. Island is having major disaster. The volcano that, sure, there's a volcano now. Which we knew that at least the second island ran off geothermal energy. So it would make sense that the first island probably would do the same. Although never ever mentioning the fact that there was a volcano and it was active. So there's that. Having to go rescue the dinosaurs, having the huge public debate, and even having to get the government involved to deal with that totally makes sense. That there would be dinosaur rights activists. There would also be anti-dinosaur activists, stuff like that, even though that wasn't part of a thing. You also get the engine crew, whatever's left of them, trying to salvage the remnants of the I-Rex from the bottom of the lagoon. The entire intro sequence to Fallen Kingdom was great. Except that dude who was like turning on the power and opening the gate and stuff was an idiot. Like, come on, dude. Like, you know where you are. Why would you ever think that you were just safe, chilling on the ground, anything like that? And it's like, as soon as you saw something, I was like, that dude's getting eaten. I don't know what's going to eat him, but it's going to eat him. And there's Rexy. Okay, he's dead. We're fine. Also, how do you not hear? I know it's a torrential downpour or whatever. It's a big storm going on. How do you not hear a T-Rex walking up on you? Except that she's clearly a ninja, as we see at the end of Jurassic Park 1. Super Kamehameha, am you late? You am late. Stop yelling France. I want raptors with freaking laser beams on their head. Yes, correct. Jurassic Park, what? The game, it mentions the geothermal power plant on Nublar. Okay, cool. Although the game's probably not necessarily canon, but, you know, it still goes to the same thing, that it was implied that it was probably powered like that. But the fact that the theme park is now down, the dinosaurs are roaming free, nobody knows that they're still alive, it would make more sense that the carnivores would die off if they had this problem, if they were still isolated, so to speak, whereas the herbivores, they would just keep eating the same plants they eat every day. No problem. Obviously, the lysine contingency was done away with at some point, because now they don't just die off after 2 weeks of no meds. The fact that the... what the hell? The thing in the water. I can't think of... Off the top of my head, I can't remember. And it's going to bother me. One of you guys is going to spout off what it is, and I can't remember. Oh, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows what canon is anymore. They eliminated The Lost World from canon, so I'm not even going to consider anything canon at this point. Especially a video game. It's like, that's the hard part. It's like, how's a video game going to be canon? And also, which one are you talking about? Because there was a lot of games. Super Nintendo was the better one, if I remember correctly. The Sega one had its moments. Because I had a Sega, I didn't have the Super Nintendo. Mosasaur, thank you. Which also, they sized up. They fully admit in the production crew, the thing was only supposed to be about 50 feet long. And they made it double that size. Because they never got to that size. And like the fact that it's in the lagoon, they're like, no, it's still dead. There's only the one thing in that huge, massive lagoon. Like, I guess it's that big. It needs to have it. Obviously, it can eat whatever is managing to get in or out. But like, it had a very Jaws 2. Was it Jaws 2 or Jaws 3? The one with SeaWorld. It had that feel like, oh, hey, there's a gate that goes out into the main ocean. I won't escape. No problem. I love the fact that it totally ate that mini sub. That was awesome. It's like their whole operation was great, except they all completely misjudged the fact that there would still be dinosaurs alive on the island. Idiots. Like, okay, if they're going there for whatever's left of InGen, or whatever the name of the company is, technically speaking, that is giving Wu the ability to create new stuff, and they need the IREC rib to create something new, they could have been monitoring it and go, yeah, there's still dinosaurs alive there. Watch out. Because even on the Lost World, they use satellite reconnaissance and flyover to determine where all the dinosaurs were, where they were grouping, where they were nesting, so they knew what to avoid. These guys couldn't do that in this day and age with modern technology and even the slightly more futuristic technology of the Jurassic Park franchise. They couldn't figure out that, oh, hey, there's still a giant, not alligator thing swimming around in the lagoon where you might all die. The Sega was the better one. Thank you. How do you lose a dinosaur? That's losing the world's biggest rubber band ball. Correct. Apparently swallowed IREX whole or regurgitated it without eating it, I guess. Yeah, it looks like he probably picked it off, like ate what he could, but the fact that the skeleton was all but complete at the bottom of a giant lake, which, by the way, they had to scour the whole bottom of that lake to find that thing. I'm glad we skipped the hours upon that. Mosasaur is probably what ended the last island. Huh, that's probably true. Also, the flying dinosaurs could totally just do whatever they want at that point, so odds are they could have flown out, just like they did in The Lost World. But I don't know. Like, there was a lot of good action in the movie. The forced thing to get Owen on the island, very similar to how they forced Grant or Malcolm back on the island. By the way, the thing you love is there, so we need you to come along. Lies. Trying to get to the island, they need to power up the thing so they could fire up the trackers so that they can find Blue and they can find everything else. And that the whole thing, okay, the island starts erupting and we get trapped in the building. Oh, here comes this other not T-Rex that's coming to eat them. Which, that thing totally got swallowed by lava, right? Like, they escaped out the top. That thing had to have been killed by lava, totally, right? And the nerdy black kid who didn't want to come along at all, but he was needed because we need a tech genius. And then you have the paleo veterinarian who had never touched a live dinosaur before, but somehow is completely educated in how to take care of them. I mean, I liked her character. It was a lot of fun, but still. And pteranodons are not dinosaurs, correct. I said flying dinosaurs. I covered that earlier, Zeta, that they are not dinosaurs. They're more or less just big birds. Maybe the DX disease affected Site B. No, they actually just completely don't reference Site B anymore. It does not exist. San Diego incident never happened anymore, because if the San Diego incident had happened, there would be so much regulation to keep dinosaurs only on that island that no one ever would be talking about trying to recover them. And they would not have bothered, period, with even putting up a debate to save the first island. They would have just said, nope, it's going to die. Baryonyx. There you go. Yeah, I knew it. Favorite dinosaur. Ever played the fighting game? No. I didn't even know there was such a thing. That would have been weird. I'm assuming you just fought as different dinosaurs? Because you're not going to be fighting as people against the dinosaurs, right? Actually, yeah, the Sega version had better graphics. It was less cartoony and stuff. And you weren't didn't have the overhead view, if I remember correctly. That sounds weird. Jurassic Park fighting game. But either way. I don't know. It's just... They get all the dinosaurs mostly on a thing. Oh, hey, the weird mercenary guy betrayed us after we got Blue. Duh. They shot Blue. Duh. Left Owen to die. Duh. Although that was kind of stupid, because if they needed anybody to help train and corral new raptors, which is what they're eventually needing to do, keeping Owen on would have made way more sense than killing him in front of Blue. There's a lot of plot thinning areas there. Sega was not top-down. It was side-scrolly, if I remember correctly. Because I remember parts where the T-Rex would just out through the thing. Anyways. I'm trying to remember, because I've seen a couple movies lately, so I'm trying to remember everything that happened. The fact that I can remember enough of what happened in Jurassic World and even Antman. There was a study that showed, I think it was Film Theory, talked about why you can't remember anything that happened in the Transformers movies versus totally different movies. And it just comes down to a whole lot of things. Whereas the Jurassic Park movies are a lot more engaging. We're not just going to go there, but the silliness of Owen being still, like, his upper body still being completely tranked, but his legs function, and he's basically crawling with just his legs to escape lava, which is right by his face. And then you see that, I forget whatever kind of dinosaur it was, licks him awake. Which, if that thing's running from lava, why would it stop to lick him? That makes no sense. Whatever dinosaur was, a Carnotaurus, yeah. Like a big game hunter mercenary guy. That's pretty cool. The guy from Jurassic, or The Lost World, yes. He was actually really cool. If the dude didn't stop to pull a tooth out of every single thing that or at least every predator that they caught, it probably would have made a big difference in this movie. Because if he wasn't so stupid, when you get to that scene later on, the whole back end of the movie would be a little bit different. It always comes down to one or two really stupid people causing all of the problems in this movie, or all of these movies in general. One greedy person screws it up for the entire world. That has been the story since Dennis Nedry. One greedy little bastard who didn't want to do the right thing and got the entire island canned. And people dead and everything like that. Not to mention himself. So, we escaped the island, barely. And then you get one of the most heartbreaking scenes ever. And you get the Brachiosaur coming at the dock like, wait, you forgot me! Where were they going to put that thing anyways? I mean, it was a really big boat, but where were they going to put that? And then you just see the lava overtakes it, the smoke overtakes it, and you get it sadly roaring or whatever, singing. And then it does the thing from the first movie just to make you remember Jurassic Park 1 where it jumps up on its back legs. Which apparently scientists now say they can't do that. There's no way. They don't have the structure at their size and balance. They could not have done that. But it basically does the trained elephant thing and then it's just dead. And that's just so damn sad. It's just like, wow. Like, okay, now we really accept that island is gone. Whatever dinosaurs are on this boat is it. We're not getting any more dinosaurs after this. Where are we at Dilophosaurus? Yeah, they kind of abandoned Dilophosaurus, period, after the first movie, didn't they? They weren't even in the second or third movie. They weren't in World except in reference in a Jimmy Kimmel sketch. No, sorry, wrong one there. Wrong, not Jimmy Kimmel. I apologize. Jimmy Fallon sketch on the screen, and then the hologram, which also the Dilophosaurs are totally wrong in the first place as well. Imagine Nicolas Cage as the MC of Jurassic World. No, not gonna. No. Bad guys take dinosaurs to a mansion in the middle of somewhere. Did they ever talk about where the mansion was? Because I don't recall. And all the things you would expect to happen. Bad guy auctioning off dinosaurs for an enormous amount of money. We're developing the new thing, so now we get the Indoraptor instead of the Indorex. So it's the Indominus Raptor, because we're going to minimize that Rex part. We're going to make it more Raptor-like. We're going to give it longer arms. We're going to give it way more intelligence. An incredible sense of smell that apparently doesn't work if you're hiding behind a wooden panel. And zero loyalty to anything because we didn't have a raptor to breed it from that would have made it that. That's where the story starts getting really, like, all this other crap. Yeah, death by a bunch of compies would be bad. Because, like, didn't they have venomous bite? Like, it was, like, they had paralytic... If I remember correctly, that's how John Hammond died in the book. He got killed by a few compies. And then there was a guy in The Lost World that died that same way, where he got bit a couple times and then he started going down. Raptor eviscerating you and eating you while you're still alive is probably worse than anything else. Although being ripped apart while still sort of alive by 2 T-Rexes would be really bad. And actually, let's see, who was it? That they called that back from Jurassic World as well, or The Lost World. That's really hard to separate. So the new bad guy gets torn apart by the T-Rex, and was it a Carnotaurus? What was it? What was the other thing that helped rip the bad guy apart? I forgot. Compies make you sleepy, so it's some kind of venom of some sort. Death by old age is the best. I'm just gonna die old. Being smothered to death by your assistant is probably really, really bad. Although being torn apart alive in an elevator that you can't escape was probably pretty bad. Lava/dinosaur killing you at the same time. Or what happened to the assistant in Jurassic World, where she was already getting attacked by the flying dealie that then also was eaten directly by the mosasaur. She died really bad. Eddie Carr, yes. Eddie Carr really he had it bad. Yeah, it was a Carno. That's what I thought. Because it had big arms. He's like, hey, T-Rex! The only thing T-Rex has bigger arms than. And then, of course, they say, screw you, I-Rex, you're never having again by crushing that thing. But we skipped a lot of important things, like the incredibly obvious fact that the little girl was not his granddaughter. Death by dinosaur snoo. Oh, God. That was never covered ever in this. Is like, well, because most of them aren't breeding, especially in Jurassic World, because they really, really kept the numbers down for most of them, so the odds are they weren't going to breed. Except maybe Gallimimus, I would think, would be capable of breeding, but I think they really started regulating that gene stuff. But dinosaur snoo would be pretty bad if they boned you to death, no pun intended. I don't know what dinosaurs would do that. But then again, there's, what is it, leopard seals or elephant seals? I think it's elephant seals that will use penguins as a condom, so to speak. Hello, Jacob Horn. Yeah, I'll give you that. But technically, that's not a dinosaur killing you. The drowning to death in the gyrosphere. Which I call a lot of bullshit. Like, he's using to start punching it and it breaks. No. It's like the amount of crushing force probably was not enough to do what happened there. Getting stomped. The dude who got stomped to death by the T-Rex. The guy... I think there was a guy who got stomped to death by the I-Rex. Probably all pretty bad. All of that, yeah. Just dinosaur death in general will be pretty bad. Getting pecked apart by anything. Flying... Oh! The new CEO who died... That was pretty bad. And the helicopter crashed. The helicopter crashing through the thing. That was pretty bad. Excuse me. Of course, getting ripped apart by raptors. Just not happy either. So, basically, any dinosaur death is probably going to be pretty bad. I think the most pleasant dinosaur death... I don't even know how I'd go there. I was thinking somehow an herbivore accidentally crushing you, trying to snuggle you, would probably be a pleasant dinosaur death, but I don't know. Remember how the dude gets it at the end of Lost World? You mean where the baby T-Rex kills him in the belly of the ship? Is that what you mean? Because yeah, that's pretty bad too. While the big T-Rex watches, teaching the baby how to eat in the ship. Yep, that would definitely work. Ankylosaur hitting the gyrosphere doesn't break it. Yeah, exactly. That incredible point there. Even shooting it wouldn't, underwater shooting it wouldn't make any difference, because essentially the density of the water kills the bullet unless you're like directly up against it, which I can't remember if he was. Either way, no, yeah, they had to BS their way through that. But I like the idea that they're hiding behind the log, and then every single thing that runs by minimizes the log until there's no log left. I was like, they did cartoony stuff in this movie. And if you don't expect a Jurassic Park movie to be a little cartoony, yeah. And then Owen basically being a superhero for the most part So he is kind of Star-Lord-y, if we're honest. Um, yeah. Everything that happened inside the mansion was kind of dumb. I like the concept that the dude who helped InGen get started, he helped the cloning idea and all that stuff, was still behind, still kept the ideals of John Hammond. He's the one who wanted to save the dinosaurs, give them a new home, even had a new island supposedly already ready to go that would totally work, and they could just have another nature preserve. We already have one of those. Oh yeah, we don't have that anymore. Because it would have been super easy just to grab the islands, or grab as bless you, grab as many dinosaurs off of Nublar and get them over to Sorna. Mind you, introducing new dinosaurs into an established ecosystem might make things a little wonky and territorial problems. However, we don't have to worry about that because the 5 deaths don't really matter anymore. Basically, Vince Vaughn survived that movie somehow. Billy survived. All their really crappy characters. Actually, Vince Vaughn wasn't a crappy character. He was there to do a good job, and he did as good a job as he could. I don't know. The Indoraptor I thought was ridiculous. The Indoraptor was a cartoon character. What it did inside the cage to that hunter dude was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, they are really doing this. This thing is so intelligent that it is actually going to play dead, give the camera a wink. So now it's a Deadpool raptor. Interesting idea. Just what the hell? Cybernetic dinos? Maybe. But I'm thinking that ever since they started with, when they first started talking about what they wanted to do with Jurassic World, there was the original idea that it was going to be human dino hybrids. And now that we know that human cloning can totally happen, yeah, totally a Looney Tune moment, you're right. And actually that's Tune, not Toon, in case you're wondering. Yeah, Edgy-saurus, the Edgelord Saurus, definitely. Which I think the newer one based off of Blue probably would have looked a little bit different, which actually would have been totally fine with me if they actually made that happen. And they can breathe fire, for sure. That's the one thing they forgot to do, was give the ability to breathe fire. They're like 5 seconds away from creating a dragon, so why not just do that? Dino Riders. Yeah, Dino Riders could be a thing, but they actually want them to be weaponized and controlled rather than actually riding them. And I think that actually having Owen ride Blue into battle is retarded. And Blue by herself, I'm sorry, even as powerful as a raptor is not going to survive the wild. T-Rex, it's going to do what it's going to do. The herbivores are all just going to hang out somewhere where they can just be in grassy lands and trees and stuff like that. They're just going to spread out and do what they do. Assuming there's enough of them to even breed, then they're going to do that. But all the animals that are by themselves and one of a kind, they're not going to have that problem. However, we did see that a bunch of embryos did escape and were sold. We know that Henry Wu supposedly still got away like a bad guy. So the odds are they're going to keep developing new dinos. They didn't get to sell off this Indoraptor, but they can still make something in the future. It's like, honestly, why isn't it just armored? And I'm starting to feel like we're going to go very Blade Trinity on this. Or not Blade Trinity, Blade 2. Where they can just develop a super vampire. So we're going to get a super dinosaur. You can't kill it. It's bulletproof. It's super fast. We should probably stop making them more intelligent than us. That's probably a bad plan. Yeah, Rain of Fire will actually happen, yeah. Ever seen a human dino hybrid concept? Yes, I did. That's what I was talking about. That, like, the human Triceratops hybrid was sick. Yeah, the dino human hybrids seems like something out of sci-fi. This is all sci-fi, in case you forgot. It's like we can't create dinosaurs. It's like the way they do it in the movies makes no sense in the first place. They're all hybrids, as Wu says. The fact that he tried to... I love how they screwed him over. He's like, I just need a sample of her blood and I can totally make a new Indoraptor. I was like, oh, by the way, you can't do that because I totally gave her T-Rex blood and fuck you, is basically what it came down to. And he's like, what? He was like raging about that. The first time you see him break down and really get pissy that everything is going wrong around him. I wish the Mosasaur was shown eating people. Well, it technically was. It ate the one dude. Yes, I'm aware that you mean Sci-Fi the channel. But nobody watches Sci-Fi anymore. You always have to leave some kind of kryptonite in your creations. Yeah, the thing that will kill you on your own thing. Dinos are huge. Hold on, will merge into a huge mecha dino and take over the world somehow. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt. I swear to God, if they bring The Rock into these movies, I'm done. I'm totally done. I'm fine with Chris Pratt being the new hero of the series, kind of. Actually, if the next movie doesn't have anything to do with him or Claire, I'm okay with that. Expand the world. That's what we did. That's why it is now Jurassic World. That's why you get Malcolm's speech at the end. Welcome to Jurassic World. And like, I love that. I watched Andre of the Black Nerds review of it finally, and he like, that's what they meant all this time. Now this world is like, it would have made sense if they had freed a lot of dinosaurs, like a lot. Now some got bought off, some embryos got bought, so people can still play around. There are other gene companies out there that can totally create something new. So yeah, in the future we can get a whole new thing of now dinosaurs fighting dinosaurs. Now I feel like they're just gonna skip to the post-dino apocalypse. So now it's a world ruled by people who have created dinosaurs to do this, and now we're fighting back against them using Blue and Rexy that are like incredibly old now. It's gonna be like old man Rexy, old woman Rexy, old dino Rex. There we go. So that's just what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the remnants of old. It's gonna be Blue coming. I'm too old for this shit. But in Raptor speak, having to go against all the new created dinos, and then we find Rexy to come help, who's like 90, like way older than any T-Rex ever should have been, with cybernetic implants and like a missile arm. And she's got, okay, this is getting way too. This is a sci-fi movie now. I don't want to see any of that shit happen. We're gonna have to hell. Rex NATO is going to be the next thing. So escape dinosaurs, is that how the giant alligator got? No, we're not talking about Rampage. I didn't actually see Rampage. I had no interest in seeing Rampage at all. The Rock, between last year and this year, is doing what Josh Brolin. Like, Josh Brolin is in so many movies this year, it's ridiculous. And TV series. Or rather, Netflix movies, I should say. That's funny. Also, John Krasinski is everywhere as well. But The Rock is already beating them to being in so many different movies at all at the same time. We talked Build Divers earlier. You missed that. I'm not going back. Sorry, go back and watch it yourself later. Sorry, buddy. But my biggest problem with the Jurassic World series now is that they retconned the previous stuff with the exception of Jurassic Park 1. And that annoys me. Playing around with some of the new science, fine. Giving us a new reason to care about things with a little girl who's actually not technically a little girl, so to speak. Also, her decision at the end that releases all the dinosaurs, great. Fine. Took it away from the idiots who continually screwed up. Finally realized that everything they were doing was causing more and more problems. They owned up to their mistake and said, no, we're not doing this. And then somebody else went, we're doing this. And we're like, well, that's your decision, child. Okay, fine. Don't make them inside a building anymore. That's really annoying, watching things run up and down a hallway. Although, I will say, the Pachycephalosaurus smashing people in the middle of that giant crowd was hilarious. You just see people go fly. That was worth it. That was so great. Toby Jones being the bad guy, auctioneer guy, we can live with that. I like Toby Jones. He's a great mini villain. It will be one of the monsters in Sharktopus. Sharktopus was so bad. So bad. Clone Girl is part dino, and that's why she was good at hiding. Maybe. But what excuses the Indoraptor from being able to smell them? Also, the final battle of Blue coming to the rescue, I thought was really bad. I think that should have been a human fix, not an extra dino have to come help fix. Though, I also love the idea, it took them way too long to use the idea of the targeting system for the Indoraptor to get it to do what they wanted. It's like they literally could have made that happen any way, shape, or form. So she aims it at Owen or whatever to make it run at him to fall down through the thing. Why not just aim at the spiky thing? It has no choice but to do what you told it to do. You could have run that thing into a meat grinder and it would have still gone and done it because it knows nothing else. It's programmed genetically to follow the commands of the laser and the sound pitch thing. Also, why did nobody just say bloop back into the cage? And maybe that would have been fine. I don't know. It was a stigma lock. I have to tell 5 people already. Say what? Hey, that's what they called it. Nobody's heard of that. It's a Packy. No, it's not a Packy. I'm stupid. Pachycephalosaurus is the thing with the top on his head. Sorry. Rise of the Planet of the Dinos, maybe. War for the Rise of the Planet of the Dinos. Yeah, hold on. With a little raptor on top of a T-Rex commanding the dino army and somehow use spears and use stolen guns. No, you're going to get a raptor riding a horse. Actually, it wouldn't make sense for a raptor to be riding a T-Rex. A raptor would be riding a, like, brachio. Something big and horse-like. A raptor riding the back of a stego would be great. Did they rescue any stegos? I don't remember seeing those. I could be wrong. They didn't rescue everything, but goddamn, did they cram everything into that hallway. It was like, if they rescued as many dinosaurs as they supposedly said they did, I don't think they would all fit in that one hallway, but I could be wrong. I don't think enough got into the wild to be a true problem if somebody was notified. Like, if we notified the armed forces that, oh, hey, by the way, there's now dinosaurs roaming around in this particular state that looked like it was the Pacific Northwest, but that would take forever to get a ship from Costa Rica all the way. Anyways, I think it was California, if I had to guess. And I didn't. There was an end credit scene that I missed, but I guess it was just 2 pteranodons landing in Vegas. Ooh, they went for the loud, shiny things. No, Nozoid caterpillars. Raptor riding a jeep. Ooh, a stego tooth? I don't recall. I don't remember if they got a stego. That's why I keep asking. I don't remember if they did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't remember if he got a stego or something else. I thought he had a triceratops, or at least one of those types. I don't know. I have to go back and remember. Like, remembering what all tooth he took. Yeah, that's right. I said he took the predator teeth. He took a tooth from everything, like an asshole. But I don't remember a stego being in the hallway at the end. There was a lot of shit going on. I don't remember that. Alright, but I think that's enough. That's enough of dinosaur talk. It's been quite a long time. It's actually been going for about an hour and a half now. We can go Ant-Man and the Wasp. For everybody who's seen that. If you have not seen it and don't want spoilers, I won't go into deep spoilers, anything outside of the trailer at least. A raptor on top of a mecha bronto. Brontos are not a thing with cannons. I don't think I don't think dinosaurs need guns. However, I would like to see the Avengers fight dinosaurs. Okay, plus it had a stego because of Mercury. Took a stego tooth. Mercenary. Okay. Huh. Okay. I just don't recall there one being at the end. It was just a big cluster surrounded by gas. Fine, get out. Go. Go away, Zeta. There were dinosaurs in Ant-Man. I'm just kidding, there weren't. There should have been. There was a lot of things in Ant-Man and the Wasp. First and foremost, it's a good movie. I did a minor quick review. I thought it was a lot of fun. Good summer movie. I thought it was going to be worse than the first one, judging by some of the reviews I'd seen. Because they just said, it's just more of the same. It was a lot of more of the same, but they played more with what they had and introduced some new aspects without going too deep into it. The idea of really, really bending the laws of physics with shrinking things and being able to pick them up and carry them around bothered me scientifically because no on that. Uh, without going into spoilers, he's gonna have to be a game changer because he's just gonna be there. I don't know about being an actual game changer when it comes to Infinity War Part 2 or whatever they're gonna call it, or Infinity Watch, whatever they're gonna actually end up calling that movie. Um, because they're gonna have to bring in a lot of things. Like I would have expected Adam Warlock to come out because obviously he should be a part of this. But we've got Captain Marvel coming out end of this year to really be a game changer in that because she's supposed to be the most powerful person in the MCU at this point. Okay, go take a nap, buddy. Well, there were the water bears to attack Hank Pym. What? Water. Oh, yeah. Those things. Um, I don't remember what those things are called, but like they're supposed to be like beyond, like a little bit lower than microscopic. And if I remember correctly, those things can survive in space. If I remember correctly from watching Cosmos, like they can survive in a vacuum. Like they don't even have to be in technically in water or whatever. They can actually move around, do whatever, and still survive even in a vacuum. Yes, there was an Adam Warlock reference at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Warlock and the SS should have been there. SS. Silver Surfer, yeah. Well, we're not getting Fantastic Four or X-Men or anything like that, according to Kevin Feige. So I don't know. Kiss a Beyblade. That's really weird. I think that without going too deep into it, because once again, I'm trying to avoid any spoilers for Ant-Man for people who have not seen it yet. He will be in that movie. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how he's going to get there, but he's going to get there. I liked what they did. Paul Rudd got a little bit more to do with this. Although he's playing a lot of the same character, you could see the fact that a couple years have gone by. They really do insert this temporally into the MCU by talking about events that are happening and stuff like that. And they talk about what happened in Civil War. So this is a side movie. So kind of like where Spider-Man Homecoming sort of inserted post Civil War, but before a lot of other things. Is really strange. Yes, those things. I'm not going to try to actually say that word. Oh, dear God. I like all the returning characters got way more to do. We got way more out of actual Hank Pym in this. So I almost said Anthony Hopkins. What the hell is wrong with me? I know that's not who that is. That's where my mind went. Because I'm thinking of all the other terrible movies. Well, no, he was in Thor. I kind of wonder where is Ragnarok in this equation. That would have been interesting. And I liked it to put it in San Francisco so we don't have to deal with everything in being in New York like before. He's under house arrest, has been for 2 years. Can you imagine completely being under house arrest, not even leaving your house for 2 years? That's ridiculous. I like that they reestablish that because of the events of the first movie, he has a good relationship now with his ex-wife and her new husband. And like they're all on board with him spending time with the kid. And like they have several family hug moments that are so forced, and you can tell he hates it because the other dude gets involved. It's so funny. There's so much humor in this movie, and there are moments where it goes like almost Deadpool level of funny, where it's like, okay, we're gonna completely stop the movie to have this comedic moment. And I was okay with it like the first couple times, and then like the third time it happened, I'm like, okay, now I kind of want to get this. This is not a good place to have stopped. There are other ones that survive in lava and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Grant. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into spoilers, so you won't be able. So I don't want to spoil it. So just things you will see. You will see Ant-Man. You will see the Wasp. There you go. That's all you need. It opens up with the flashback from the first movie of the same story of how Hank lost his wasp. Why Janet? I was like, what was her name? Janet, that's right. So you go over that entire recap, including seeing them before they even left. So we get some more de-aged Michael Douglas. That took me a minute. You get another scene of de-aged Michael Douglas. You get a scene of slightly de-aged Lawrence Fishburne as well, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. Although it's pretty easy to age him down. You get you get a bit more backstory as to why nobody works with Hank, and it's crazy. You will see things shrink and grow and get big again, and some of those things completely at random, which actually adds a little bit of comedy to the movie. Also, it borrows from Iron Man 3 in the aspect, and this is kind of in there, but not. There will be malfunctioning suits that cause problems, just like Iron Man 3. So that bothered me that they went there. I like that Hope and Hank's relationship definitely has been repaired. They get along so much better in this. They're way more like father and daughter, less all the other stuff. Because the movie opens up on him telling her what happened, because she never knew what happened to her mom exactly. And so they sort of broke into it, and then he just flat out is telling her. And then you find out that they've been on the run for 2 years while he's under house arrest. So he barely has contact with them, stuff like that. The FBI guy, oh God, what was his name? Wu, which I believe has been in other movies before, but I don't know if he's playing the same character, but I think the same guy has been in other MCU movies. He is so damn funny when he's interacting with Scott. I love it. It's so fun, especially at the end of the movie. No spoilers, but the last time they interact, I guess not really the end, but the last time they interact is so damn funny. Like, everybody was laughing. There was one time, I can't remember which part of the movie it was early on, I literally went like out loud at whatever happened on the screen. Like, everything else was quiet. Like, if I had taken a drink, it would have been a spit take. But it was so damn funny. And considering the heavy movies we've had lately, the darker movies we've had lately, especially with Infinity War gone by, they needed to lighten it up. And this is what they needed. They needed that Ant-Man-ness to do that. Yeah, no. They cover that in Infinity War, why Ant-Man and why Hawkeye aren't there. One retired, one went house arrest. They just cut a deal. You won't be Ant-Man anymore. You're going to be here, and if you can give us any information on the other two, it's fine. Even his buddies, his ex-prison buddies, all get a lot more to do. The Russian E guy has one of the best lines in the movie, and said, once you put the dime in the jukebox, you just got to let it play, or something along those lines. And that was a terrible accent. I apologize. That scene was one of those ones where it had to completely stop the movie, but it was so damn funny. I hope the FBI guy comes back. Yeah, I think that would be so great. But the bad guys. Oh, and this, not a big spoiler because I won't tell what happened. This movie does something that all of the other Marvel movies don't do. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There is one major thing it does, and please, in the comments and the thing, do not spoil this for anybody. Like Grant, he won't see it for another month. They completely don't do something that the Marvel movies are known for. And I was like, after the movie was over, I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait. I had to think about it. I'm like, they didn't go there. And I'm okay with it. Hawkeye will definitely be in the second one for sure. Because they're going to need everybody they can get. And especially once he finds out what happened, which everybody in the world and universe knows what happened at the end of Infinity War, they're going to go there. So I like that this movie explored the science a lot more of the shrinking and growing. They went into the what was that called? Not Colossus. What was it? I already forgot what it was called. Brain is tired. Where Lawrence Fishburne's character was the first one to size up. And they have the whole argument, how big did you go? 23 feet. And he's like, I went 65. And he's like, 65? That's in a trailer. That's so good. If you guys are done comparing sizes, That was so great. Um, the giant scenes in this movie, the giant man scenes, especially the one that's in the trailer where he's like using the truck as like a scooter or a skateboard or whatever. That part was so funny. The car, I think that the MCU is now going to do car chases instead of the blue sky beam, because between Black Panther and this movie, and I guess even the Captain America movies, there have been so many new car chases and they keep upping the ante. And that was an incidental pun. This movie's car chase, or car chases, because it seems like there's a couple in this one, are so well done, and in some cases make no sense, but play totally into the movie the way they should. And especially being in San Francisco, they do all the things you totally expect, and it's so good. It was a lot of fun to watch. Are they gonna kill a superhero off? Yes, all of them. Every single one of them is gonna die. Just kidding. And technically speaking, Thanos was right. Giganto-Man. Yeah. It's funny. Like, I guess because in that gap, there's not a lot that happens for them to reference in this movie. Because it's like a 2-year gap, obviously, between Civil War and here, which I'm not sure they really do cover that in the other movies. But I guess this is a time skip, so to speak. I don't know. Huh. That'd be interesting. Oh, the Veloster. Yes. I was wondering why that Veloster was in some of the commercials. And like that plays into this movie for sure, the way they got to drive it around. I think it was Luis was driving it, because I love this, like Dr. Pym, I love you. So they have a lot of fun with this movie, and I really appreciate it. Hello, Oliver Ponder. This is Thanos was right subreddit. I avoid Reddit like the plague. I don't. Tumblr and Reddit I don't do. No pun. No offense. Oh, what else was good about this movie? Evangeline Lilly really kicks ass in this movie as Hope Van Dyne and as the Wasp. Absolutely kicks ass. And a lot of people said it. Her chemistry with Paul Rudd is so good. Though I have so many problems like watching her and not seeing her as Kate from Lost, because of course that's where she really kind of blew up in the first place. And given that she has a lot of the same skills that Kate has in that, I'm like, wow. And then like some of the things they use to avoid being seen and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm just watching an episode of Lost where it just went really wonky. I'm starting to think Lost took place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, but did he kill animals, or did he just kill quote unquote sentient beings, like humanoid people? Because I don't think that we saw that it killed animals, at least in the movie. No, if Thanos really wanted to help, he would have created twice as many resources rather than having the amount of people in the universe. It is what it is. Zeno could still beat Thanos. That's just all it is. We will have to get to Super Dragon Balls, which is going to be difficult because we're going to have to jump between universes to gather them. But this is the MCU. We can do whatever. He killed both. I believe it. Either way, if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, definitely go see it. Unfortunately, and I hate to complain about this, because it wasn't about the movie, it was about the situation. And being that this is a summer movie, it's summertime, kids are out of school, I thought that the 6:30 show on a Saturday evening, or I'm sorry, a Friday evening, would have been slightly more adult filled. Nope, there were kids everywhere. And I was sitting right next to two, like maybe had to have been 5 and 6-year-old boys that were kind of sharing a seat, so to speak. And the younger one would not shut up. Like, it was so annoying. Like, once the movie got rolling, he was a little bit better. But if it got slow and stuff that he didn't necessarily care about or understand, he would just start talking about something else. Like, at one point, he yelled out something about the Hotel Transylvania 3 trailer, which he was excited about whenever that came on. Which, that movie looks retarded. I'm sorry. That movie looks so dumb. I don't know why they're still making those movies. Yes, they're kids' movies. And why Adam Sandler is making movies at all anymore, I don't understand. He peaked in like 1998. What are we talking about? Steve, we're on Ant-Man and the Wasp, but currently I'm talking about how Hotel Transylvania is pointless to have more sequels. Howard the Duck, hey, if he comes back and actually has a purpose, by all means, I will gladly welcome. How do we know Howard didn't die? He might have been wiped out by Thanos. But yeah, no, just sometimes it's not the movie that can sour your experience, but everything else. And unlike whenever Nick and I went and saw Transformers, where we were surrounded by kids, I didn't even know there was any kids in that theater because they were all good, they were all nice behaved. The one sitting right next to me, there was a dad and 3, possibly 4 kids, because he was like in the middle of a large group. I'm guessing he grabbed his kids and a couple of their friends to go see the movie. And it's actually the first time in years that I've been in a theater where like that was an issue, because I feel like they're a little bit better usually. I mean, I went and saw Inside Out with Miss Shoki on our first date with her little niece, who was only like 8 or something like that at the time. Other than being a little bit antsy, she was good the entire time. And most of the other kids around were also very good. So, you know, every now and then you have a not so great experience at the movies. It is what it is, especially with something that reaches beyond an age limit, you know. So I guess it's just, I'm used to going to different movies, where at different times, I should say, where I don't have that problem. HT3 is for the kids. Yeah. No, I know that's for kids, but like, just like I was wondering why CinemaSins was running through the old movies all of a sudden, and then I found out 3 is a thing. And good lord, does that trailer give away everything? I guess I know kids don't care, but that movie trailer shows you like everything about the movie. I'm just like, what was the point of this? Like, you don't even. They probably showed you every funny moment, so you don't even have to go see it. And that is one thing about some of these newer trailers, especially for like kids movies or funny movies. It seems like they will show you every good scene to get you into the movie, but then like you're just sitting around waiting for those scenes. And then if something was in the trailer and you don't see it, you're like 3/4 of the way through the movie and you haven't seen that scene yet, you're thinking the whole time, well, obviously this has something to do with something later. Which is one thing I liked about this particular movie with Ant-Man. The trailer didn't give away so much that it was predictable. Some things were predictable in it, and some things were repeatable, or was repeated, I should say, repeatedly done. The same thing was done like 3 times, but that's kind of the point of the movie. The MacGuffin was a very different kind of MacGuffin in this compared to previous MCU movies. But now that all the Infinity Stones are gone, we have to come up with a new MacGuffin, a new thing for everybody to fight over, and we got that. I will say, and once again, I'm going to do this with no spoilers, and please, once again, nobody in the comments, nobody in the chat, spoil. The after-credit scene, or mid-credit scene, I'm not going to give away exactly what happened, but there was something said in it that, within the context of the rest of the movie, you go, what? Like, obviously, there's a time gap between the end of the movie and the end credit scene, but Ant-Man mentions something, and you go, wait, what? It's like, how did they, what is he talking about? So something is going to come, and I have a feeling that's going to tie into the Captain Marvel movie or something that's coming later, because there's obviously a time skip. So it might be a scene that is tied into later. Once again, no spoilers, but kind of how they did at the end of which movie had Captain America finding Bucky? Like, the end credit scene was the scene once they recovered Bucky. I forgot which one that was off the top of my head. Adam Sandler's funny when he isn't doing kids movie, but like in his early days, yes. But he doesn't do any of that anymore. In fact, some of the last movies he's done are really not that good. Though, what is that movie that we always end up watching? one that's him, Drew Barrymore. It's almost like the Brady Bunch kind of situation. He's got kids, she's got kids. They go together to Africa. Is it Blended? Is that what that movie was called? That actually is not a bad movie, but I feel like it's because it's going back to his older style of humor, not the newer crap. Oh, and also because I reviewed it, or I didn't review it, but I reacted to it. The Venom trailer. In the last couple months, I have not seen the full Venom trailer in theaters yet, and maybe it's because I'm going to the same theater over and over, and it's a because they all have their own little brand or whatever. Has anybody else actually seen the full Venom trailer in theaters? Because I'm only seeing the original teaser trailer, not the full trailer. So let me know. Adam Sandler in the MCU. Adam Sandler probably does exist in the MCU. Also, the Stan Lee cameo in this movie was so minuscule. But the whole time I was thinking, okay, where's Stan Lee going to come in? Because like we're nearly done with this movie. Where the hell is Stan Lee? So it was there, but he was on screen for so little time, and it was such a dumb scene. It's just like, okay, well, I guess they have to find a way for him to be in there. But once again, is anybody gone to the theater recently, elsewhere from where I live? Have you seen the full Venom trailer in the theater, like where you actually see Venom and all that? You get more of the storyline, because that is not what I've seen, at least at my movie theater that we go to all the time. All right, guys, but I've been going for about 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off here. Now, if you got to see all the way through this video, and you caught the Build Diver stuff, you got the Jurassic World discussion, and of course now the Antman discussion, let me know what you thought about that episode, or these movies, the whole thoughts about dino hybrids, stuff like that. Where's the MCU going to go? Please no spoilers, at least for a while, because obviously a lot of people have not seen this movie. It's only been out for a week. But of course, thanks for watching, everybody who's here live in the chat. And it's a slightly thinner crowd than usual, but hey, we got a few new faces. That's always good. And it's usually good talking to you guys. I have to go get my day started with Miss Shoky, who I think is just going to go take a nap as soon as I get out of here. Oh, by the way, brand new Shoky skit live right after this. So do not go away from the channel, because the skit will be going live. Isn't that funny? Nice little teaser at the end of here. Of course, if you did not watch all the way through to here, then you've already seen this skit, because this is in the future. YouTube time travel. Either way, guys. So, tomorrow, Master Grade Monday is not happening as planned. Doesn't mean that it won't happen at all. It just means that's not happening as planned. So I might, if I have time today, given what all I've got to do, I might plow through the inner frame of Banshee, just to show that off, because I've never actually seen a quote-unquote naked unicorn, and I think that might be interesting to show off. Excuse me. I've only been awake for like 10 minutes. Sorry, Ed Monster. You missed the beginning. Go back, rewatch everything. But the rest of this week is going to go back to normal, kind of the normal broken up review schedule, because now I'm kind of caught up. So if there's not a real Master Grade Monday tomorrow, I will show off the review of the Gernsbach. Is that a good deal? Y'all okay with that? The Gernsbach review on a Monday? So not Master Grade at all Monday? Little Hollow Knight. Hello. Sorry if you missed the rest of the stream. I'm actually ending things right now. The rest of the week we will have other Build Divers reviews, amongst other things, and reviews of all the other fun stuff that's out here on my table. When I say it's a mess, I mean it is a mess. Definitely looks like a kid's room in here. So I've got to put away somehow all of these figures out here. New stuff coming in this week that I'm very excited about. I will show off the mail call when it does come in, and I will be doing a video on it once I actually open it up and get to play with it. So that should be a lot of fun. But guys, have a great week. Whatever, it's Sunday. Have a great last of your weekend if you're still having a Sunday right now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Obligatory crap. Patreon down there if you want to support the channel. $5 a month. Totally help out a lot more, so I can offset the cost of doing these things, which is getting more and more expensive lately, realistically. Trying to get to about $200 a month to really help offset this. YouTube money is slowly trickling in, but it is trickling in. We're getting better. You guys are really, really blowing up. Finally corrupted 2,800 subscribers, so yay for that. On our way to 3,000. We're gonna do real good. By the way, if the video hasn't gone live yet, once again, congrats to my buddy TheKrowSama for hitting 5,000. He's doing his giveaway. He did his Regular giveaway earlier, but he's got his contest going on as well, so go check that out if you haven't on TheKrowSama's channel. Hope the next one isn't god-awful. That's terrible. It's okay, boss. I made some ideas for Gundam Hellbringer Astaroth. Cool. Nice. I want to see that. Master Grade Monday on a Tuesday with no Master Grade. That's messed up. How dare you? No, Master Grade Monday have to at least be on a Monday. Anyways. But also, SHOKY shirts, wherever. Like, the camera's backwards. So, SHOKY shirts right here. You want to buy those, link in the description down below. Help to go do a thing. Plus, you can be part of the SHOKY Nation. I think is what we're probably going to be called because it seems to be the easiest thing to say. But, talk to you guys later. Remember, as always, to keep on nerding, to keep on building, and let's keep building this community together. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Now I have to reach over here awkwardly and hit this button right